Hey, Ann, it's me, your boy, back at it at the Krispy Kreme. Told myself I wasn't going to introduce myself like that, but I did. Today, I'm finally going to get around to this video. I wanted to do it last week and I didn't because I didn't feel like doing it. So I talked about virtual currencies, which was dumb, but I didn't want to talk about games every week. But I'm back to games. You'll notice, first off, my S's. They sound a little slurred. That's just how it is today. Can't help it. Second thing you'll notice, I'm in my basement again, but I have the camera backwards. Why? Because there's game stuff. Look, it's a Splatoon poster and Smash 4. But what do those have in common? The Wii U. That console that no one played because no one cared for or knew what it was. So, I worked at GameStop for a short amount of time. I like to call it hell because, wow, it really, really was. I forgot what I'm doing, so I'm going to pull up my notes, which are right here behind me. Right, getting back to what I was saying. The Wii U, no one knew what it was. Because I worked at GameStop at about the time that the Wii U was like coming into stride, as well as the new Nintendo 3DS. Both of those, that whole time period, was a very interesting time period for Nintendo because their naming conventions really sucked, as you can tell. They had the Wii, then they make the Wii U, and people thought it was like a $300 tablet to go with your Wii system. Why would anyone want that? They wouldn't. No one bought it. The new Nintendo 3DS, try and tell the difference. And what it boiled down to for most people was there's like 2 games that you can only play on the new 3DS. They didn't care too much about the loading speed or, the amiibo compatibility, which really only had a couple games that it was compatible with anyway. So that whole time period really just had a lot of missed potential. But today I'm talking about the Wii U, which is one of my favorite consoles, and it's highly underrated. And I'm going to tell you why as soon as I check back at my notes. Right here. Number 1, these discs. I got 3D World here. They have rounded edges, which first of all are incredibly smart for a Nintendo system. Because who's playing a Nintendo system? Families with kids. 3D World, kids. It's a cat with Mario. Kids love it. So you have these rounded edges, which are resistant to breakage and feel really, really nice when you touch them. You just want to like play with it all day. It's weird, but it's perfect. Second, the gamepad. When it was used really well, it worked beautifully. Swapping items on the fly, having the map right there. Even when it's not being used for an addition to the game or gameplay aspects, a lot of the times you can just switch from the TV to the gamepad itself, which was super helpful when like someone else wanted to play something on the TV or watch something. And I'd just be like, cool, I'm still gonna play. Throw it onto the gamepad, done. This thing, I love it. I love it. You just pop, and it's got a TV remote built in. It says TV right there. I can just hit that button, turn on my Wii U, turn on my TV. There's a bunch of fingerprints all over this because I've been playing it like heck recently. And if you decide not to go with the gamepad and play with something a little more classic, you get the Pro Controller, which in and of itself is basically just a 360 controller with dual analogs up top. So it feels good in your hands, whatever. But the big thing about this, the reason why I love this controller so much, its battery, I swear it's a friggin' arc reactor. I have had this for years, basically since it came out. And I can count on my hands the number of times that I've had to charge it. And I've used it extensively. So just as an example, I charged this up probably about 2 weeks ago and have put in many, many, many hours, many nights playing games on this controller exclusively. Haven't had to touch it. PS4 controller, I play it for a handful of hours. I get a good long play session in between me and my wife, and it's got to be on the charger. I mean, there's no way it can go any more than 5 hours. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. I can't go more than a day, basically, is what I'm trying to say. That controller lasts for months between charges. It's insane how good the battery is in there. Second thing, there's next to no shovelware. I'm just going to keep looking back. I hope you guys don't mind. There's next to no shovelware. The Wii, tons. There's so many crappy games on that system. You can't avoid it. You walk onto the virtual console, there's not a ton, or not the virtual console, the WiiWare shop, that's what it was. There's not a ton, but physical games, there's, just buttloads of shovelware. Every day there was 20 new games that no one cared for. Switch did not miss this either. There's a buttload of shovelware games on the Switch, and it started right off the bat. People were like, hey, this is a console that people are buying. Let me make a game for it. I don't care if it's not a good game or not. People are going to buy it because they see it on the shop, and they're like, I have $5. Throw it at it. The Wii U beautifully missed out on all that crappy shovelware. Basically, everything on that system was intended to be on that system. Not everything. There are definitely some crap. I meant to say that. And I'm not changing it. Third, full backwards compatibility. Wii games. Everything was playable on there. And it natively upscaled it. Some games work better than others just because it ran it through an algorithm. So some of them are jittery. But you throw in Metroid Other M in there, you watch that opening cutscene, you're like, whoo, dang, that's good looking. And not only the software, but the freaking hardware. All the Wii remotes. Not every system can do that. What other system has full support for the hardware and software of the previous? Nothing. The Wii did. Only the first generation models, though. So, whatever. It's great. Holy crap, full backwards compatibility. You don't see that every day. Hopefully the PS5 is doing that. There's rumors that it will. That'd be really cool. I'm not going to stop looking back. I'm in a good mood, can you tell? Exclusive games. This is what I really wanted to talk about. There are so many exclusive games that have not been ported over. Many of the games have been ported over or just kind of reworked. Like Hyrule Warriors, Smash Brothers 4 got remade kind of into Smash Ultimate. But a lot of those games started out on the Wii U. There are games that have not moved anywhere since then and are incredible games. First, I mentioned it earlier, Mario 3D World. Best Mario game? You can fight me on that all day. This is the best Mario game. The controls are tight. They're insanely tight. They've got basically the same controls as 3D Land. A lot of people have played that, so if you're familiar with that, it's the same control scheme. And multiplayer. Multiplayer scares me, all right? You play New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii, and you got 4 people playing, and everyone hates each other by the end of it. This game is not the case. This game is actually more fun with more people. It works so well. It's beautiful. I love it. Best Mario game. At me. At me. Second, HD Zelda games. I got the box for Wind Waker here. I got Twilight Princess over there. I got both of them. Twilight Princess didn't get as good of an upgrade, in my opinion, but the Wind Waker, hot dang. This is easily the best way to play Wind Waker, which is the best Zelda game. So get a Wii U, get Wind Waker HD. Best Zelda game, hands down, right here. the just updating the textures was not enough for them. They're like, hey, all new lighting effects. And I started up the game and I saw the new water. I saw the light shining down on Link as he's sleeping up on that lookout tower. I'm like, ooh, dang, that looks good. But then they added they fixed all the little nuanced things that people didn't like about the original. Changing wind direction while you're sailing, because it just took forever. You were slow, and then if you ever had to change course, you had to stop, get out your baton, change the wind. They fixed it. They're like, hey, optional, you can get this new sail that not only makes you faster, but it changes the wind for you. Perfect. They cut down on the treasure maps at the end, where instead of getting a bunch of different treasure maps to get all the pieces of the Triforce, you now just get the pieces of the Triforce, and they cut out a step. Not all of them, because they wanted to keep that intact. But a lot of them, you just cut out a step, where you have, instead of finding a treasure map and then going out into the sea to dig up a piece of treasure. Fucking Game & Wario. It's stupid. It's all the fun of the, like, WarioWare games, but more structured. And the pirate dancing game is some of the most stupid fun you can have, hands down. It's like it's like Just Dance if you were being instructed by pirates, and it keeps telling you to, like, shake your butt to the beat, and Wario's like, hey, shake that ass, man. Can I say that on my channel? I've said it before on my channel. That's an okay word. Next. This was not next on my list, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Nintendo Land. This is fun. I'm not going to lie. This is like what came packaged with it when I bought it. And I still pick it up every once in a while. There's how many different games on this? I see 12 on the back. That's probably all of it. Some of them are really short. Some of them are not, like, worth mentioning. But the Metroid one? That's fun. The Zelda one? Holy crap, that's fun. You can go out and have an adventure. And it's, like, really good motion controls. It's like what Skyward Sword wishes it was. Skyward Sword's still not bad. But the motion controls actually work in the Zelda game on this. And the Donkey Kong one is bullcrap. Don't play that one. Don't play that. Animal Crossing? That's fun. You're gonna hate each other. It's 2-player. You're gonna hate each other. Wonderful 101. It's not really my thing. But at the end of the day, it's a Platinum Games action beat 'em up with, like, some Pikmin style. You got a bunch of people all at once. It's a good game. Not my style. I don't own it myself, but I've played it. I've seen other people play it. Everyone seems to love it. There's a reason why they do. All right? Moving on. Heckin' Splatoon 1. Right, the sequel is pretty much better in every way. But the single-player campaign in this is still worth a playthrough. If you own a Wii U for some reason and don't have Splatoon, pick it up for $20 just to play through the single-player. I'm not kidding. Plus, the final boss is actually a challenge. The second game cannot say that. This one's fun. Let me scroll. Pikmin 3. I don't have a physical copy, just digital. Best Pikmin game? My opinion, it's good. I hope that it gets ported to the Switch someday, because otherwise people are missing out. That's a pretty darn good game. What's next? Fatal Frame 5. Another game that I really hope gets ported because people need to play it. That's a good Fatal Frame game. That's the first one that I played in the series. I had no idea anything about the series before that. I picked that up, scared the pants off me. It was so tense in so many moments that I had to, like, put the controller down and just be like, I gotta step back. It wasn't like jump scare scary. It's the more horror aspect of it. where just the entire time you're exploring, you're like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to go through that door. Why are you making me do this? It's so good at creating an environment where you don't want to do what you have to do. Good game. Great game. Not as good as the second. Still very good. Paper Mario Color Splash! I'm just kidding. The game's only marginally better than Sticker Star, and that's not saying much. Do not buy that game. Please don't. And if I remember correctly, there's one game that I want to talk about that has not been ported over to anything. My favorite game on the system. So freaking good. I'm going to spend next week's vlog talking about it and it alone. I will spend like 15 minutes next week talking exclusively about that game, but I have to beat it first for the second time. Third time. Second time. I gotta beat it. I'll do that in the next week, and I'll come back, and I'll talk about that game. I love it. I love it. I'm so mad that they remade the Xenoblade Chronicles and not X. Get ready. I'm gonna boogie. Man, I just had a lot of caffeine.